Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Tommy, are we live? We are now live streaming our board meeting of September 11th, 2025 to the entire world. I'd like to welcome everybody in who's tuning in Australia late in the morning. Good morning to you in Australia and to everybody else who's listening. So thank you very much. On a very serious note, I know this is not a voting meeting, but I just want to take a moment to recall the tragedy of 24 years ago. Every time I sign today's date, I try to remember where I was, what was happening, the lives that were lost on that date, and those that were lost in subsequent wars fighting to protect our country. And I hope we never forget. I hope we always remember those that perished on that tragic day in our country. And to the families of those who survived the lost ones on September 11th, we offer you our thoughts from Niagara Falls. So I appreciate you letting me start that way. So let me try to set the agenda for the rest of the evening. We do need, members of the Board of Education, we do need an executive session that will not have voting at the end of it, but it will be lengthy. So I'm going to attempt to move smartly through this agenda and cover a lot of ground. I'm going to give you an opening of schools report. I want to talk about the progress of our smart device ban, give you an 8-day status report of our smart device ban. One of our transportation coordinators is here. I want to talk a little bit about busing, and I want to talk a little bit about our bus app. We'll review the 9:25 agenda, and then we'll go into executive session. And at that time, I will list the 2 reasons for the executive session, okay? But before I begin that, I just want to mention that at 4 o'clock this afternoon, Mr. Consemi, Mr. Velardo, and Mrs. Dunn joined our community reps at the audit committee. We had an audit committee meeting today at 4 o'clock, and I just wanted to give you a breakdown of what happened, members of the board and members of the public. At the audit committee today, Drescher and Malecki, our external auditor, presented to the committee, went through all of the components of the external audit. They will begin the external audit in this district next week, and we have targeted our Thursday, October 16th board meeting to give you the results of the external audit. I'm anticipating that audit will go smoothly, quickly, and well, and that on October 17th, we could submit that audit to the state. So that was the first agenda item. And that's Drescher and Malecki, and we had a good conversation. The second item in the audit committee was that the audit committee reviewed $39,745,366 that the internal claims auditor reviewed. And over the course of 6 months, from the months of March to August, for the $39 million, there was one finding, one. Some of the board members know there was one finding a day previously. We were one finding in 6 months. It was actually listed as $11,000, but it really, as Becky clarified, it was about $2,200. We had bid a product, and they charged us the catalog price, not the bid price. And they corrected that, and we paid the bid price in the end. But that was picked up by your internal claims auditor. I've set an expectation for everyone in the district to have 0, no confirmatories or no findings this entire year. And again, for a little bit of context, I remember the days of 168 findings, going down to 60 findings, going down to 15 findings, going down to 8 findings, going down to 6 last year, and the goal this year is to have not one audit finding in our internal claims. We then did mention that I'm planning to recommend to you and to the audit committee through Julie and Becky and Marcasia Morris, who is now here, one of our accountants. We are going to recommend a new internal claims auditor. I'll get more into that at the appropriate time, but we're looking at the BOCES bid, and we're looking at Trecconi Segura. Trecconi Segura is our new internal claims auditor, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the thinking behind that, but Becky and Julie have been researching that pretty thoroughly, and that's coming up. Those were the topics discussed at the audit committee meeting for the public and for the board. Unless there's any questions, I'd like to move forward. And I just wanted to thank Heather Spence, Jerry Petito, and Joe Girizzo. They are our community reps. They come faithfully, and I told them that their salary for being on the audit committee, again, was tripled this year. So it's gone from 0 to 3 zeros. But they do it as a great community service, and I appreciate that. I'd like to move on to the opening of schools report. And I had the chance to speak to all of the administrators, or at least the principals, either in person or by email or text. And I'm really pleased to see Gaskill and Abbott and Niagara Falls High School and Cataract and LaSalle Prep represented here with administrators. Appreciate you being here along with members of your team and your staff. Thank you very much. I have to tell you, board, we had a very, very strong opening. Very strong opening. That's a credit to your staff. It's a credit to the administrators that are here and who aren't here, to the staff sitting over there. I would categorize this as a very strong opening. And I just wanted to give you a couple of highlights that the administrators gave me as to why. Parents, students, everyone has been very happy with our secured vestibules and the fact that we now have a safety officer at every location. Got great feedback on that. The open houses were very well attended. The orientations, very well attended. I think that helped with parents and kids get off to a good start. Compliments to Ms. Massaro. The schools reported that they were well-staffed. Very few holes, if any holes, well-staffed. To Ms. Buckman and Mr. Corella, a couple of principals were pointed out that all of the resources, materials were in place day one. They're not lacking or looking for any resources or materials. Also a credit to that team and others. Again, this came from Mr. Ventry and other administrators. The professional development that was done over the summer is already in place and in action. We're seeing it already take hold. Just to stay on the high school, we'll talk about this during a resolution. We're up to 45 trade students, 45 students in our construction trades class, which I think is wonderful. So much so that we had to get some more space and more teaching time. But that's a nice problem to have, a real nice problem to have. Student attendance was very good for the first 6 days, very strong. And all of the students that we categorize as no-shows, the administrators and their teams all have a plan to look for anyone that hasn't shown up. And that number has dwindled daily, but it's lower than it usually is. I want to thank the parents who have been patient with transportation. It's no secret that the shortage of bus drivers presents a lot of problems, but patient, for the most part, our parents have been patient. And finally, the smart device ban has been going very, very well. Very well. I'll talk about that in a minute, and I'll call on Harjat if that's okay, because I'm not in the school all the time. She's in the school, so I'd like to have her give her student reaction to the cell phone ban in a minute. There were a couple of challenges that I'd like to share with everyone that we continue to work on. I mentioned transportation. It really is a result of not enough bus drivers. But I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Something that was pointed out to me by a parent was, and I really liked how the schools did their open houses and orientations, but a parent called and said, I have kids in multiple locations, and it's sometimes hard to get to the high school and then to the elementary school on the same day. I thought it was a legitimate concern and something that we need to look at when we plan those days. Everyone is getting used to our nuisance alarms. What's a nuisance alarm? On all of our exterior doors, we have a buzzer system that goes off It beeps loudly if you prop the door open. And we were having kids being dismissed out those doors previously, and the alarm was sounding. So there was a little bit of reteaching and retraining at dismissal time. But as an administrator here once told me, safety can be inconvenient. And I think that that's what we learned from the nuisance alarms. I'm concerned that despite our summer efforts, we still have quite a few students without immunizations. And they have to be excluded from school after September 17th if they're not immunized. We do have one more clinic coming up at Trot, but we do have a number of students that are unimmunized. It's a very narrow window of exceptions, and we only have 2 exceptions that Dr. Phil is aware of in the whole district for non-immunizations, and that's a very narrow and strict release. So those are a couple of the challenges that we face as we open school. Sure.
You mentioned the nuisance alarms. Now, we're educating the kids not to go out those doors, or,
yes.
Or they're ignoring the alarm?
No, we're educating them to have a different dismissal site. It's just been something new for kids, you know, and I like it because the point is it's safety, right? We want those alarms to go off, and so we had to do a little bit of educating. Well, the administrators had to do some educating on doors that can and can't go out. But they're getting there. They're getting close. So that was just a comment that was brought to me. No, not at all. No, not at all. They're on it. If we're good there, I would like to break into our phones, and that was my little cue to get ready, Harjat. I know you'll speak better than any of us. So I wanna thank our students first of all. And I want to thank their parents, and then I want to thank our staff, our administrators, our teachers, our support staff. I will readily admit I was concerned because I didn't know how it would go. But I will tell you, and we're 7 days into it, but you know, if you don't make a good start, you're digging without a shovel up a hole all year round. And we got off to a really good start with our phones. The students and the parents have been very accepting. Staff has demonstrated consistency. I've had only 2 phone calls, and they both dealt with non-internet connected watches, which is in our policy. It says and I know you can connect anything to the internet. I could probably learn to connect this water bottle to the internet, but the policy says internet connected watches. So we had a conversation, quietly went away. I think maybe Ms. Tompkins dealt with one of those calls, and another school, one of them, we had a call at another school. So that was handled with grace and skill, and I appreciate that. We are tracking reminders. I know Mr. Ventry's here from the high school, and I call him every day. He said it's gone very well, but Harjat will be the judge of that. His team has had to administer a number of reminders, not a very big number, but some reminders to kids. I know students aren't using, at the high school, their Yonder pouch. I wish they would, but as long as that phone is put away and not visual and not out, I'm going to accept that. And I think that's good. My sense, and I've only walked through the high school twice, is that it is calmer. It is really nice to see kids in the hallway without things in their ear or on their ear. That's a really nice feeling, and it's a really nice atmosphere. Now, I think that the lunchrooms are a little noisier, but what would you expect? And what would you want? Yeah, sure.
One of the most, thank you, Mark, for letting me just to make a statement. I have multiple children in the district, and one of the most interesting things that I heard was that feedback was that it was too loud.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, what a problem to have. The kids are talking to each other and not on their phones.
Right. Yeah.
The horror Earl. It might be a little loud for some people, but at least our kids are interacting with each other. So I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for your comment. So it's a little louder. Loud is good. It's okay. I think I just noticed a difference without the headbuds and the earphones. And kids seem to be pleasant and focused and calm. And it's 7 days. We have to have, my favorite word, stamina for another 180 days. And we have to stay true to our rituals and routines, and we have to keep this going. But already, and people are, it's the first question out of everybody's mouth. It's really gone well. Credit to everybody. Credit to the administrators for their communication. Credit to the teachers for being consistent. Mostly credit to the students for being understanding. I have been at a few bus dismissals, various sundry reasons, and I asked the kids, and they're like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's not a problem. It's okay. Not a problem. I know in the middle school, sometimes it's a little slow unlocking them, but what we've done is we've slowed the buses down for them. Now, that's not true. That's not true. I'm trying to look at it half full all the time, right? I look at it half full. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm really pleased. I think we'll see some results. So the plan is we're going to go 10 weeks, and then we're going to administer a survey. We have a baseline survey. Let's get a 10-week survey and see what's going on. Harja, can I put you on the spot for your comments, please?
I've noticed a lot of difference in between the interactions with peers, as you were referring to the loud lunchrooms. The same students that would be on their phones when like there's free time during the class, they're like talking to each other now. They're discussing like questions, like in chemistry, for example. Oh, like class is about to end, like I'll just pull out my phone and I'll scroll until the class ends. But now you see people talking about the assignment that was given. How do you convert this to this? A lot of people that didn't used to talk a lot, they're coming out of their like shell. They're able to interact with others, able to make new friends, especially since in the high school, you're working with freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. So like all the classes are mixed up. You meet people from different grades. You're not just stuck with the same people from your grade only. And I think honestly, the policy's been pretty decent, even for 7 days. Like it's been good. I personally haven't seen any phones out. I've heard that, like kids aren't using the yonder pouches, but I haven't seen any phones out. So even if like the student isn't using the yonder pouch, they're still not gonna take out the phone because they don't want to get caught with it. There's still gonna be some sort of disciplinary action that would be taken if you do take out your phone. So just that being enlisted into their brains is just gonna make them more used to the fact that, hey, like I shouldn't take out my phone, and then they'll forget they even have a phone. Oh, the nuisance. I want to talk about the alarms real quick.
I usually do most of the talking, but go ahead, Harja. Next thing you know, she's got Channel 4 coming to her, then 2, 7, the Cooking Network. I'm like, whoa. I'm kidding you, Harja.
Referring back to the alarms,
Yeah.
I actually left out of one of those doors and I didn't realize there were alarms because I'm not sure if they stated about the alarms early in the morning because I'm not in the school early in the morning because of BOCES, but yeah, that was really a great sound to hear.
So just for everybody's context, we have 221 external doors that are not designated as primary front doors. And the fear and the safety precaution to do nuisance alarms was, I don't ever want to see a book, a rock, stone. I got to run to my car to get a coffee. I got to run to my car because I forgot my plan. I don't want to see that. That leads to problems. So the thought in developing the capital project was, and unfortunately, the thought was taken from some tragedies in other places. Those doors have got to be alarmed. The alarm sounds, it is a nuisance alarm. It is allowed, the camera points to it, and someone's dispatched there. It's about your, I know you know this, it's about your safety. It's about the safety of the students. Now, last thing on nuisance alarms, since you brought it up, thank you. What we wanted to, we're running on a standard program. Chief Del Porto is going to be working with administrators now to possibly tweak something here or there. So we wanted to get them up and running. We wanted to do everything the same way. And now there may be a specific door that Mr. Ventry wants this to happen because this happens at this time. He'll have that opportunity once everything settles in to give his feedback. And then I'll take my direction from Chief Del Porto, and then we will adjust where it need be. So that's, for anybody watching, that's where she's referring to. I just, not to put you on the spot, we have administrators from big schools, Gaskill, Abbott, high school, Cataract, anything that I missed that you think is salient? Accurate, not accurate? Well, thanks, Ed. You're non-tenured administrator in his first 7 days. Great, Ed. Thank you. No. We didn't hear you. Harjot, handle it.
I think the number of no-shows has really, it's really amazing to us. We're down to 2 no-shows at Gaskill. And it could be students that have moved and we're waiting for records. But the 6th day of school, we down to only 2 no-shows. And only, this previous, we had 11, and the first day of school, we had 51.
Right.
So the social workers, the counselors, they're on it the first day, they're on the phone, doing visits, and doing what they need to do. So they're coming to school.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. Anyone else? Angela? Lynn? Ed, do you have anything? Yeah. You're surviving? Yeah, you're doing great. Anything for the board? Oh, listen. I'm getting really, really, really nervous. Go ahead.
Again, referring back to the phone policy, I know a lot of students were concerned about the fact that teachers were going to use their devices since they don't have yonder pouches themselves. I've noticed that even teachers don't use their phones. Like, it's been good, and I think even teachers are setting a really good example for students.
Now, Heather, now Harjot's a member of the NFT 108, 801. Mr. Weiss gave you a shirt and everything. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke, Harjot. It's a joke. You know what? It is a really good point because it's a really good point, and I want to say this, and I'll say it again continually, and we have a webinar Monday night with the teachers. We as adults need to lead by example. We have to model the behavior we expect. So, thank you again. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So thank you. Harjot, you want to take the rest of the meeting with the agendas or anything like that? No, I'm kidding. I'd like to just talk about transportation for a minute, and we have Casey here. Before she comes up and shows us our bus app, I want to get into a few things. I want her to demonstrate the bus app, and then I want to talk about a conversation that Mr. Ventry, Casey, and I had last spring, and an adjustment that we might need to make with respect to the high school busing. But Casey, this is Casey Dixon. Want to come up, Casey? One of our transportation coordinators. Her major role is the Niagara Falls Coach Lines bus system. Here's what I will tell you. Busing is now starting to settle. It's not where it needs to be yet. We work every day. I meet every day with it. We work on it every day. It's improved. It's improved. It's improved. It's improved, and it's going to get better. It's driven by lack of bus drivers. So even when I tell you there are 40 bus drivers, this is what the nuances of it are. We have 2 buses and 2 drivers that you could take away from that cadre because we have 2 what we call auxiliary buses. These are buses that we have to transport children with seizure disorders on. And we need to not only have a bus driver for that, but a nurse on that bus. So now you take out 2 bus drivers. I have never, in my recollection, seen as many curb-to-curb special needs, exceptional children who need curb-to-curb service, right? That takes out another cadre of bus drivers. We have We have all sorts of unique programs, differently designed programs to meet the needs of kids. Again, I'm not letting anybody off the hook. We need more bus drivers. Company needs more bus drivers. We had a meeting with them on Tuesday. They need more. Some relief, 3 new drivers are scheduled to start next week at some point, correct? Is it 3?
We have 1 currently starting. She started, she's still in her driving on the road
Okay.
with another driver, and 2, 1 taking a test tomorrow and 1 taking a test the next day.
There's the potential to add 3. Things will settle out when schools have clubs and activities, and the high school has sports and the million things that they have to do. I apologize to parents, and I've tried to call everyone back that I could. So we have those situations. LaSalle, Niagara Falls High School, and Abbott have been they are our biggest busing schools. LaSalle has, I should know it, I think they have 8 buses there, 8 or 9.
8 gen ed and
8 buses. Abbott has 11, and the high school has, well, they should have 30. They have about 17, and on any given day, it could be 13 or 14. You also have to realize in that cadre of buses, if someone calls in sick, and they do, so I'm not going to make any. I'm not trying to make any inference. Yes, I am. Let's stop doing it. Monday was a really bad bus driver day. You can make an inference as to why it was. Some people may have been up Sunday night watching things. I don't know but Monday was a really rough day, if you can make that inference. So there's no leeway or no room when that happens. So sometimes when you take out curb to curb, all that other stuff, we're running with 28 district buses. So not making excuses, because I try to hold their feet to the fire and will continue to do so. I want to make one confession. This is on me. I own this decision. The general education students at Niagara Falls High School are not on the My Bus app that Casey's going to show. This was a decision that I made after consulting with, I own it, Mr. Ventry and Casey back in the spring. We didn't route kids on buses. If you don't route kids, you can't get to My app. We made that decision because we wanted to give, first of all, we think our high school kids are mature and old enough to get on the right bus and do that. Secondly, on a daily basis, there are 40 or 50 kids needing one-day passes or passes for other things. I'm going to Delta Sonic today because that's where I work. Can I get on this bus? And on and on and on and on. We can go back and fix that decision. We can go back and route them by request, route them all. But I want you to know that that was a decision that was made and might go in my category of a week, not the best decision I made to start the year. It can be fixed though. It'll take some time. It can be fixed. Okay, it can be fixed. But I know Mr. Ventry had this question at the parent group meeting on Monday. I know I've had this question and I own that decision. I tell you that honestly, but it can be fixed. It can be fixed by routing them, or it can be fixed by any parent who wants to route them, understanding that their child has to get on the bus they're supposed to and not say, I'm going to get on this bus because I'm going to Harjot's house tonight or I'm going to the Delta Sonic to work. That won't work. We can't change their route every day. I hope that makes sense. So I own it. We did it. I want everyone to know it was for good intention. It was for efficiency. But again, if anybody parent is watching or listening to this or hears about this, I will, as long as you know that your child has to get on that bus and you're in high school in a general ed program, we'll route you. I'll meet with Ed and Casey and we'll talk more about that. So I wanted to just quickly, Casey, can you show them my right app?
Sure. I first want to say thank you for having me, putting a face to the people they hate the most. So this is the app. The app will do many things for us. There's actually a couple updates coming in the future that will actually expand the app too. Currently what the good thing about this is the parents can jump on, they can follow the bus, they know where their kid is all the time. If the bus is running late, it will tell you. So we're going to step through the steps to get onto the app and what you can see once you are on the app. So first we need to get signed up. They need to have a personal email that they do have access to, because they do have to go in and confirm it's them. The first and last name of the student, the parent's last name, and then they have to make a password. So this is what the sign-up sheet looks like, the first screen that you'll see. They'll just walk through that and hit sign up. And it's gonna give you the requirements for a password, and then it'll send you to your email. Once you do all of this, we now can add a student. So their next step is they're going to log in, they choose the school, it'll prompt them to choose our district, and then they have to put the student in. They click add student, where from here they will need the student number. That comes from the school, not myself. I don't give out that information because I don't know the kids and the parents who are allowed to talk to about their information. So the school will give them the student number. They need to know their last name and their first name. The last name and first name does have to match exactly what we have in our system. So if there's an accent in the name, they have to have it. If they're a junior, this is what we're running into. If they're a junior, it has to be a capital J, lower R, and a period, because that's the way it's in Power School, how it comes into our system. So I have gotten quite a few parents call about that. I was able to get them on, no worries. They can just call us for that part, and I can help them through. So once the student is on, I use my own kids as a reference here, you'll see all your students here. I do have 4, so down below that there's 2 more, but it'll tell them the grade that it's in. Now this was last year, but the grade that they're in, the address that they come from, and then below you'll see bus location and details. Those are 2 clickable parts of this part of the screen. If you click details, this box will pop up and it gives you still their name, the run, the bus number, and the time they're supposed to be picked up from the school to the time they're supposed to get dropped off at home, what days they're going to go, what school, the drop-off, the driver's name, and the driver's vehicle. The part up at the top that says not active, that is based on the GPS. So if the bus is not running or it's not on that route, it is not going to say anything up there. It's not going to say active, available, or anything. It'll just say non-active. So from there, if you click on bus location, this box will pop up. It'll give you still the same information that the previous screen had, but it also gives you an option at the bottom that says view on map. If you click on details, it'll give you each day. So what we don't do in our district is they don't have a different schedule every day. However, the way the app is set, as you can see, it says today, tomorrow, and then it gives dates. So if we were a district that routes each day and they had different schedules or so on and so forth, they can click on each one of those and the schedule for that day will pop up. So the schedule that you see on the left over here, they're picked up at 8:36, dropped off at 8:50. Over here, if the next day they're picked up at 9:05 and dropped off at 10, it'll show in the next day. So it gives the parents a little heads up as the week progresses. In our instance, once they're routed, that's what they are. So all those are gonna say the same thing. But once they click on that, it'll show everything. They can also toggle that show today only, so if they don't wanna see the rest of it. Once you click on view the map, it comes up to the map and there is a pop-up that gives the information yet again, but it also says on-time arrival or delayed or not active. If you see not active in this screen, a lot of the times it's a GPS situation. So I will have to fix the GPS, get a hold of the mechanic and have him fix the GPS. So if you see that, sometimes I don't know that the GPS went down, so if you call in and just let us know, I can fix it. However, it'll say on-time arrival if the boxes below match where the GPS is picking them up. So in this instance, the pickup is at 8:37, the drop-off is at 8:51. According to the GPS, the student should be at home at 8:51, around there, because we all know traffic gets in the way. But if you clear out that box, it says hide right up the top. I know it's hard to see, but if you hit hide, it'll show the full map. See the little yellow bus? It'll show that's on the road. So that's connected to the GPS on the bus to our system. Keep in mind GPSs do delay, so refresh, that's all I can say, because this bus sometimes you'll see it split in two, even though there's only one bus, because confusing data from 5 minutes ago to data from now. So that little bus right there will show you where it's driving around. The house on the right-hand side is your address. So it kind of shows you, and you can zoom in and zoom out on this map to see exactly where they are. If you click on the little yellow bus, this box pops up where it says follow the bus. So when you click follow the bus will get bigger and show you more. Instead of having to zoom in, it'll zoom in for you and show you exactly where that bus is. From there, we do have a message center. I get messages all day, every day. Parents can go in here. They can send me a message based on, where's my kid's bus. I don't like it to be used for that specifically because I'm not always monitoring it. So I don't want to miss any of those kind of phone calls or messages. However, they can say, I have several that tell me that the student is not going to be there the next day. Most of those are curb-to-curb students because they, have a little more time on the bus, so it does help the bus out if they tell us they're not going to be there. They can also just ask general questions. I need to change my route. How do I change my route? And so on and so forth. So I'll get the email and I can respond back to them. It does push out notifications to them. Where's that one? From the message center, I can also send messages to them. I don't have that up here. But if I have a late bus or Mr. Lurie decides to delay start, anything like that, I can go in and I can send a message to all students or all apps. I can send a message to a specific bus. I can send one message to a specific student. So I can break it down and send whatever I need. So if there's a student that's on this app, I can send them a message saying they need a daycare form or whatever the situation calls for. I use it every day for late buses at the moment. We're working through that. But it works because it's better than the all calls, because sometimes phone numbers don't stay the same. We know they change constantly, but with the app, at least no matter what phone they're on, as long as they have the app on, they're gonna get the message that we have a late bus. And I'll just write in it, good morning, your bus is about 15 minutes behind, please head to the stop, in 5 or 10 minutes. The forms section, that's one of the updates that I'm hoping they'll have up soon. This is not active at the moment. This was used for COVID. However, I have reached out to the company and asked them to add this for us. Once it's there, I'll be able to put on daycare or alternate stop forms or pre-K4 forms for the students who have siblings, so they can come in here and get it from here as opposed to our website. I do hear a lot, I can't go to the website, I don't know how to go to the website, I don't have a printer. There's all kinds of reasoning, so this will help with that for people who cannot print the forms or can't get to the school to have them fill it out. So I'm really hoping this is coming soon, but this is something that we will be able to do hopefully in the near future. They also have an option to opt their students in or out. We don't really use the opt-in because everything does have to go through the schools themselves. So opt-in, I would still have to send an email to the school, get the information. So we don't really use this part, but the opt-out is definitely beneficial because we do have, especially the special needs students, we have parents who will opt them out at a week at a time. Maybe the child got sick, but they don't want to lose busing because we do have a 3-day pause rule. So if they opt out, I at least know they're out for a week. Don't go there right now, but we do need to get back on the route, on Monday next week. So what I'll do is I'll see these messages, I'll go into their file, I'll write in a note stating they opted out for this week. On, October 15th, they're gonna be back. So that way we can kind of keep up on kids not missing the bus because they didn't know they had to call into transportation. So this is a big help.
Two questions and a statement. That's a lot, that's fast.
Sorry.
That's okay. What if Mrs. Dunn wants to get some help? I'm not insinuating she needs it, but what if she wants to get on? What's the best way to give her some technical assistance?
Get onto the app, I'm sorry. Okay. So we have...
You're not stupid.
You don't need to feel stupid. This is all brand new to a lot of us, so we're filtering through it, but I have documents at each school, so they have QR codes and whatnot that they can scan and get onto. It is also on the website, and the directions are also on the website under transportation. You can also direct them right to me. I have been on the phone all day this week, directing people and talking people through it. I was actually on a phone with a lady, super nice, for over an hour getting her kids set up. So I will absolutely do that. That's not a problem. The only time that they come to us that they have to be turned back to the school is if they have don't have the student ID. I won't give that out because, like I said and previously, I don't know the students or the parents who can talk to them, and I don't want to make that mistake.
I just want to give another observation. Obviously, it's too late now, but most of the calls I got, I think the mistake we made, my personal opinion, based on the calls I got, we didn't give parents enough time to get on this. So the phone calls I got, kids didn't get their bus schedules, and they were told it was through the app. That's why people were asking me how to get on the app. I think that was a big mistake we made there. So it's not just, my observation is coming from those parents who stated that to me. We did not give parents enough time to get on that app so that they knew to go get their schedule from the app.
And I appreciate that, and I will own that. I should have sent it out earlier. However, we did send it out last year, all through the summer. There's been several all calls, but I could definitely work on doing it earlier. Now, next year, because we don't send letters anymore, it will be the app. That's why I'm pushing so hard for this year, for everyone to get on and understand that's where the information's coming from.
It's a point well taken. You don't have to own it. I do. I'm forcing technology. We stopped sending paper report cards, I believe, right? We don't send any more paper report cards. We want people in the parent portal. We're just moving it, but your point's well taken, and we will offer as much assistance. The next question, a lot of times you're telling me, because somebody said, and I was at Abbott the day, it's going to be an hour late, and you're texting me, no, it's not, it's around the corner. What's the protocol for refresh?
So it's just like any kind of app on your phone, just shut it down and reopen it. Again, you're working with a GPS, a satellite. That is, it's not a instantaneous situation, and if you leave the app open for too long, or you left it open and you're trying to go back into it, it's going to freeze and it's going to show you incorrect information. That's why there's times that I watch my own child's bus, I leave it on for a few seconds to look at it, and I have to shut it down and go back into it to kind of see the bus move.
It's like my fantasy football team.
Yeah.
The player's stuck at very few points. I got to refresh it. Hope that it gets
As is
better.
technology.
Yeah,
This one's just a little bit different.
But my fantasy football players never get any more points.
I'm gonna make one more point. I talked to a lot of people. This was interesting, though. I have a niece who lives in Delaware. Her son started kindergarten this year, so she calls me up and asks me, did we have this bus app? Which, again, I didn't know anything about. But the interesting thing she told me was they have it there, and it doesn't work very well.
Delaware and Niagara
It's
Falls,
technology. It's
pretty
wonderful.
similar.
I'd like to know what brand of app they have.
So I'm sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Just one quick thing. I think the QR code's great. I don't know what we can and cannot do from a transportation perspective, what's legal, what's not legal, but maybe throw a QR code on the bus, like on one of the exterior windows or something, or right on the door. And as parents, drop off their kids, they can just scan it. Look like this way, all bases are covered, and they don't have to call a school or get the code. They can just, child gets off the bus, QR code is scanned, all the directions are there. It might be something you might want to throw on the bus.
Nice idea. Good idea. I like that. Earl?
Question. So now I see that the parents have to put in student information to select. Is it kind of limited? Just because we've been having breaches and stuff. So I just
Yeah,
want to
actually,
make
that's
sure.
a really good question. So I should have put that in there. I apologize. But the student is only allowed to be linked one time. So with my four, I was the one that linked them, and it was up to me to share them to my husband. So that kind of limits how many people can just go in there and start linking themselves. I am running into a lot of students who are linking themselves and parents calling, what the heck, I can't find my kid. So I have to go in and try to figure out, who linked, and then I personally can easily go in and remove anybody that I need to and wipe out the account. Like if somebody does have access to it, I can get rid of it. The reason that I can limit it to however many links I want. I put it to one for the various reasons in this district, as I'm sure everywhere. There's a lot of students who can't have, or parents that can have access to their kids. So I figured one would be, and now it's up to the mom or dad or whoever linked them the first time to share it to whoever they want. Kind of limits it for us.
I have a follow-up to Earl's question. I thought this is where you were going with it. But from a data security perspective with the app in general, first question to the district or to you, what information is being provided to the app? Is it just name and address, or is there any other,
So it's
data? So just that, but even that still, what have we vetted the app to make sure that if the app had a data breach, are our kids, personal information, address, maybe a phone number being released?
Yeah, this system qualifies, Tyler and Jenner qualifies as housing personal identifiable information. So we acquire an Education Law 2D contract from the company. It's the vendor's assurance that they are managing and handling data appropriately.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
So just to follow up to that, when they put the student number and first name and last name in here, once they're in, the student number doesn't show. That's just to get them in, and I can set any parameters that I want to get the students in. So if I needed to add that they needed to know their full address or a phone number, I can most certainly add that. We set it the way we did now, figuring that's pretty secure for right now until we come to the point where maybe we have to reevaluate that.
Well, like anything else, if the app had a breach, a hacker could get a student's name and address and anything else that was left in there.
Depending on the depth of the breach, for sure.
Yeah.
Last question is the statement, and I appreciate what you said, Mrs. Dunn. For the high school students, I would suggest if you're here, I will clarify that on my next auto dialer. I will also say that the high school parent that is interested in having their bus routed, I'm going to tell them to either call Mr. Ventry or Sal at the high school, and then they can take
Please
care of.
call Mr. Ventry.
They can call Mr. Ventry, or my assistant busing coordinator is a guy named Sal at the high school. Don't stay away from him. Ed, we'll work together to help get that word out for the parents.
Okay.
Thanks, Casey.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Oh, and yeah, no. Before you go, I went to Man. I don't know what your son's name is. So I saw your son in class. I think it was 4th or 5th grade. And I said, I think I'll ask this young man how the bus app is working, how the buses are working. What grade is he in? 4th, 5th?
He's in 5th.
So I said, let me pick a random student out of the class and see how the busing is going at Man. I knew it was him. He said, it's terrible. I had to stand in the rain for 6 minutes today, and the bus didn't come. I said, well, speak to your mother about that.
He had to do laps that day. He had to do running laps that day.
Thanks. So, did he tell you I asked him?
Yes, he
okay.
did.
I think, let's pick a random student in this class. So I found
Of
him.
course it was mine.
Yeah, that was
The
just-
one that maybe shouldn't have been.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Unless there are other questions, I'd like to go to an agenda review at this point. I am going to ask Maria to get ready in the bullpen. Are you ready? Let's start on the 25th. It's our next meeting. Mr. Ventry, Ms. Velardo, I think should be part of this along with the other high school administrators. Nine August graduates. I think that hit and maybe exceeded by 1 or 2 your August graduate total. Is that right, Ed? Yes. 9 August graduates. We've invited the 9 and their families to the board meeting. So that'll be at 7 o'clock. We also have 2 perfect scores. So we'll have a Gaskill student and we will have a GJ Mann student with a perfect score on the state test. So I'm pleased to see that, and we'll welcome and introduce their families and tell them how proud we are that they're our students. Those are the presentations. As we go through, it's budget transfer number 2. There are no bids this month. The treasurer's report is here. Maria, are you ready to go through the personnel reports? Let's get the personnel reports out for the 25th. There there's no vote on these individuals tonight, you'll have 2 weeks to question me, question Maria, and then we'll ask you to make that vote on the 25th. Now, what have you been doing with all your extra time, Maria? Knitting? Good. Studying legal briefs?
No.
Knitting.
Someone who has all the legal stuff memorized.
Oh, nice. No. Maria was knitting. I don't see you as a knitter. No. Crochet, maybe.
Maybe a crochet.
Mr. Bilson wonders if you crochet.
Crochet?
Yeah.
I can crochet.
It's more a step, more
Yeah? All right,
like
crochet.
crochet.
I'll crochet you an Afghan.
Or a sport coat for your father. Go ahead.
Okay, beginning with the classified report, you'll see 2 resignations there on the first page, turning to the second page, page 2 of 7. We've been very busy appointing associates, as you could see. The appointments are going to go through, there's a food service helper in there for good measure, but go through page 5 of 7. So we've been hiring assistant child care associates, classroom associates, food service helpers, and we recently worked with the maintenance department to hire a porter to fill the vacancy at Abbott and then do some resultant vacancy appointments. On page 6 of 7, we're rescinding some appointments that we gave you in the last meeting. We did not make these top 2 transfers, and that person did not take that position on page 6 of 7. Voluntary transfers are those folks who have asked to move to different locations. Any questions about the classified report? All right, we'll move on to the certificated report. We have the resignation of a music teacher listed on the first page. We have the probationary appointment of a physical education teacher, a counselor, a speech teacher, and another counselor. Please note that there will be additional probationary appointments listed for you on the September 25th report with asterisks near their name. Regular substitutes beginning on page 2 of 8 and continuing through page 4 of 8 where we begin voluntary transfers. And then starting on page 5 of 8, we have per diem, Schedule B, D, E, F, and G. Anybody have any questions about the certificated report?
Back to getting a little thinner.
Yes. However, I did mention, Mr. Lawyer, that there will be quite a few little stars on our next report. And probably if we don't get it on by September, we will do the reappointment of every associate in the October meeting. So there may be just a couple more that end up being a little thicker.
Right. Don't forget the associates are appointed on a yearly basis, and we should formally do that on a board report.
All right, thank you.
There will be 2 weeks in between now and the vote for the board members. If you have any questions, concerns, clarifications, contact Maria or myself, and they'll be happy to answer your call. And as you know, we'll send the asterisk packet out to you on the Tuesday before your vote. If I can move forward with the agenda, we have a number of short-term contracts. I'm not rushing through them, but I want to go through them. Life Enrichment is a student wellness through culinary. It happens at Abbott and High Park. Title I, one of our grants, pays for a visiting local chef to do cooking at Abbott and High Park. I'm looking at Abbott, correct? So Lynn is giving me the thumbs up, and it's a successful program. We pay for that from Title I. Fight Night Boxing is a Niagara Falls High School program. My expectation is 40 students in boxing from high school. We are forming a little bit of a boxing league. We have 2 Buffalo schools and a North Tonawanda school. So we'll have 4 schools, not every time, but we'll have a little bit of a boxing league to have disciplined work with other schools. Yeah, I'm really excited. North Tonawanda heard about our program, saw the article in the Buffalo News, and wanted to join in. Number 3 is a neuropsychological evaluation requested by the CSE for one student. That was a CSE request. Number 4 and 5 are for assistive technology for a student. The reason there are 2 that look the same is one was from last year and one was from this year. We did not pay or approve last year's work. This is on a student's IEP. The student is an 8th grader and needs, he's an exceptional student, but he does need the help of assistive technology to fulfill his education plan. Number 6 is our work with Bishop Dobbs. Bishop Dobbs' church has been working with our big picture students, and he also has been generous to allow us to use his church van for the different PS2 programs that we need. The same is true of number 7. It's an alternative site for some of our students who have difficulty handling Niagara Falls High School, where they can get their home teaching. And we also have an agreement here where we can use the Boys and Girls Club van. The use of vans, and you'll see a resolution coming up, is that oftentimes we have special programs like that don't need a full bus, taking the kids to boxing, taking the kids to M&T Bank. So we've been able to use those vans at a flat rate and really get kids around the city, because our kids are not staying in school for all of their learning anymore. And number 8 is something I referred to earlier. We have so many students at Niagara Falls High School in the construction trades that they've run out of room. And we're going to rent space at the NAC, and 2 things are going to happen. They're going to be able to store and do work out of the NAC, and then they're going to help rehabilitate the NAC. They're going to do minor projects around the NAC. So it's actual application of learning as they're learning the trades. I wouldn't expect them to install a whole air conditioning system in there, but there's a lot of carpentry work and small fixes they can do around the NAC, and we thought it was a good partnership with our former high school. Tony?
Did we ever get a response back from folks downtown about a possible, like a house?
No, not yet. I'll ask again.
Okay.
I want a house. Not for me. Well, certain people would like me to move out of my house, but I want a house because I want to rehabilitate a house. In the interim, we'll help rehabilitate the NAC inside with supervision. But they're storing a lot of stuff there. Ed, jump in. Is this correct? Yes. So the beauty of this conversation is 45 construction trades is taking off like wildfire. 45 kids. And they're doing building and doing really good stuff.
Mark, can I bring something up?
Oh, sure.
The golf course has the north side was the 18, and there used to be 2 9-hole courses.
Right, red and the white.
The red and the white. So the white is in use and maintained, but the red 9 is kind of overgrown and really disrepair. And we're looking for trades and skills for our students, and I think this might be a good mix with the city. If we could get them to go along with it and teach our kids landscaping, agriculture, or horticulture, lawn maintenance care,
chemicals,
landscaping,
pesticide,
fertilization of different type of grasses, and planting flowers along the course, because a lot of them have a lot of floral decorations around the golf course. So I think this would be a good trade for opportunity if the city would go along with it, and then we could get somebody to work with these kids, and I think it's a good idea.
I really like it.
And then we can get it back to the city, the city, and use it as a golf course. But have the school maintain it, and it might even work with the white 9 too. This could expand.
I really like it for a couple of reasons. It'll help me find all the balls that I've lost on the golf course. That I was on the 18th.
Mark, those balls are disintegrated by now. They're done. They're not good anymore.
Secondly, I think what popped into my mind was the fact that the greenhouse could be a helpful teaching location where then kids can get from there to the golf course. So maybe the high school kids who we plan to go to the greenhouse could do some learning in there and then apply it at the golf course. I see Mr. Ventry shaking his head. Is that a possibility? Yeah. So what I'll take the lead on tomorrow is, I know the City Hall, a vendor runs that. I know Rick Horn and Mike Spanbauer run it. But I'll make sure we clear that with those two guys and City Hall too. But I think it could be a really good tie-in with the greenhouse.
And maybe even some of their personnel could help guide these kids, and instruct them in certain aspects of it.
I really like it.
I think it's an amazing idea. I think to add to it, I'd like to see if we were able to partner with them because that's a lot of effort and work to be done to get something like that back in shape and then upkeeping of it.
Right.
Maybe they could work with us on.
That's what I was thinking of,
And then
and every year the kids could work on it, improve it, or take care of it.
And maybe they could work with us on a program to teach some of our youth that might not be able to be in a position to play that type of sport, to provide, equipment and lessons, and so that we can have our kids get use out of the course that's so close to the school.
I really like it. There's an organization called First Tee that might want to come and donate things too. So we could take it all the way there, and then we could have like Amen Corner and different holes. Bilson Hill, something like that. We could Bilson's Bunker. We could name things like that.
I was waiting. I was going to throw the jab at myself, and I couldn't think of a good one. That was good.
Yeah, so I'll take a couple action steps. I'll work with the city and the proprietors, and work with the high school to see about. There's got to be a cadre of kids that might be interested in it, and I'm also going to talk to First Tee because I think that's where the equipment is.
Mr. Let me just make one quick comment, Mr. Laurie. I can see this. You're up to 45 students right now.
Yeah.
And I can see this thing going to 100.
Yep.
Not this year, but
Right.
I can see this thing going to 100. And then I think it's time to revisit the addition idea and put something on our beautiful
Yep.
high school
Yeah.
that looks like a warehouse, but you can build a home in it. You can
Yeah.
build a gazebo in it.
Yeah.
And then maybe even ramping this thing up to some nursing and stuff like that in some of our classrooms. So, I can see it happening. It's long overdue.
Yeah.
But as some of you folks that have never heard me speak about this stuff, and now that we're speaking about it as board members, but it's time. There's something in Springfield, Mass. I'm going to do a little research on, and I'm going to bring it to you.
Okay.
As far as the trades,
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Ms. Laurie, are any of these students going to the BOCES program?
No, they're all ours.
All are.
Yeah. Our guys, Cheryl, Ed, you can speak. Our kids like to stay in our school. They like to stay in our school. They like to be with their peers. They don't like to take the 20-minute drive back. They like to be with kids who look like them. They like to be connected to the school. And the staff that treats them properly. Thank you, Earl. And the staff that treats them properly. I'll leave it at that.
I'll say it on record, the staff that treats them properly.
So they will forego going to BOCES if we'll do it inside, and they want to do it. They will forego BOCES for sure, because we're building gazebos, we're building houses, we're going to repair the neck. They're staying in their city, and the staff understands our kids. I appreciate your point, Ed.
Yeah, because it also includes our big picture students too. They're participating, so we have a select number of students who are able to participate in that program, but still be in the big picture program.
Right. So in Big Picture, which is our alternative program, we've included Big Picture kids now in the trades program. These are students who have not always experienced success in traditional school, and there's no room for them. BOCES will not accept them, but we'll accept them. They live right in the school, so they're pretty well into this trades thing, and I'm really pleased with it.
I saw my work with these kids.
Yeah.
During spring and fall. And you should have seen their faces light up. And they're driving small Bobcats. They thought that thing was the coolest thing going. So, you know, I taught them some electrical and stuff like that. I had to stuff. The thing is, it's packed.
Yeah. And they're surrounded by students and staff that wants to be with them.
They're also
They're in school. The story that I love is that there are students who wouldn't come during the normal day. Now they come on Regents days when they don't have to come. That's the telling story. Now, some of those electrician students that you work with, Tony, when they flip the switch up, it's off, and they flip it down, it's on. So we may have to revisit that. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Like I said, if you flip the switch the wrong way, it's all on the set. No.
I'm kidding. So great. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, we'll get on that. And then I'll work with Ed and the team over there. Unlimited. Items, I'm not glossing over any of these, but items 601 through 612 all share 6 characteristics. They are programs to help students, number 1. Number 2, they are programs that are paid for by grant money. Number 3, we are not using general fund money. Number 4, we wrote grants for the express purpose of these programs. Number 5, the administrators have requested these programs at their schools. And number 6, in many cases, they fulfill a MWBE requirement that we have to fulfill. So 716 mentoring is 155 students. That's San Quinn Starks' after-school program, 155 students. I want to thank Assemblyman Morinello for helping us secure more money to do that and to do the 21st Century Grant. 602 is for prep level literacy. It is for after-school literacy for 40 students. 603 is $50,000. 100 students are getting their Niagara College credits paid for. 3 credit hours paid for through this grant. So these are college credit. You're approving, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, $50,000 to go to Niagara. That money is going directly to the tuition payment of Harjot wanted to take one of the classes. So that's how we pay for the classes. And that's paid for from a Smart Scholars Grant. 604 is for 25 Niagara Falls High School students who are into esports. $30,000, they'll get 3 credits for that. 605 is 141 students at a number of schools, girls groups, 9 schools, girls circles, and that is community missions. 606 is 201 students learning yoga, paid for by the mental health grant, $6,200 at 3 schools. 607 is a licensed outside counseling, 22 students, student mental health grant. 608 is 132 students working at LaSalle and Bond for this semester. A licensed social worker, paid for by the student mental health grant. 609 is Project Lee. Project Lee, you'll remember Gene Copeland is going to rejoin us in October to give you an update. That's Gene Copeland's program. He works with 132 students. 609 is, that was 609. 610 is for licensed family counseling, 41 hours a week with Melinda Schmay. 611 is for Modi Cox, who's worked with our district. He's got a program called Winning Because I Tried. It's paid for by the Student Mental Health Grant, Title IV, and 21st Century Grant. 612 is a program for our 60 native speakers and their families to help with bilingual communication. All of that is paid for out of grant money. And we wrote the grants for the express purpose of those tasks. Now, 613 to 618 are instructional programs or instructional professional development that Rick and Carrie oversee. So 613 is for 79th Street in Abbott. They chose this and they're using their SIG-A money, grant money. They get training for their teachers. 614 is being paid for by Title I, and it is for training 7 interventionists in Orton-Gillingham or dyslexia, teaching students with dyslexia, paid for by Title I, which is a grant. 615 is for professional development of 11 teachers, and it's professional development for on-site coaching. K-8 exceptional children, exceptional classes. 616, SIG-A is training, 8 days and 10 virtual days for our new administrators. You know, we have a cadre of new administrators, and we want to offer them and our seasoned administrators training. 617 is for professional development at Niagara Falls High School, and 618 is for Say Yes Niagara Falls. This is also supported by a SIG-A grant. October 4th will be our first Saturday Academy, and then you're going to see a lot of Saturday Academies at our school. The first Saturday Academy will be at Cataract, right, Miss Manella?
Oh, yes, it's
A hoot nanny. I guess we don't want. Now, Miss Manella, I saw you on your opening day, your opening red carpet, which was awesome, and you were complaining about your shoes the whole time. So I would just encourage all of our elementary folks to get to. You don't have to be a Cataract student only. Get to Cataract for our first Say Yes program. They are also helping with our last dollar scholarship that we are closely approaching $2 million of. I'll have David Rust here soon. They are also helping with our apprenticeships, and they're also helping with our boys and men of color. 619, this is another transportation contract. It's with Aero Transportation. We even work with groups like the Francis Center that we're housing at CEC. Sometimes we need small vans to transport PS2 kids, kids to programs like the Francis Center, etc. Another way we can use them, that's on an as-needed basis. Then 620 through 626 are payments, $767,052.41 to contractors for our capital project. We are 92% done with this capital project, 92% done. And 627 to 629 are change orders. However, these are different change orders. These are money we're going to get back in credits. And we stayed under budget in the capital project, and we're getting money back. Not enough money to do another whole project and get it approved, but we did not overspend the capital project money, and you're getting great air conditioning. Derek, you getting air conditioning? You love it? Thanks for your effusive answer there. You love it. And I know LaSalle is happy too. Your husband should be happier, Leah, when he comes home. He shouldn't be so worn out because he's got air conditioning. Our secured vestibules we heard about. The capital project is winding down. There are 2 areas that still are not complete. The greenhouse and the Wall of Fame. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. There may be 2 additional resolutions that I have to add, but I'll keep you posted. The state is asking us again to approve by resolution our emergency plans to make sure we reflect Dacia's law in them, so we may have to bring those back to you, and there may be one more short-term contract coming. Other than that, I don't see any more resolutions or changes except for Maria's personnel. That is the voting meeting of the 25th. If you have any questions, we're here. I have a couple closing remarks, and then one ask of the board, and then an executive session. Do you mind if I do my closing remarks now? And then I have a question just to give Becky and the team some direction. I thought this was really cool that Mr. Corella shared with me. And This is all of our exceptional teachers in the district by school. And the fact that all of our exceptional teachers have common planning time with each other, a time to plan together so they're not working alone. It's a really cool chart, and I'm really proud of it. And I don't know how many, for many years we used to hear, we don't have time to plan together, we don't have time to plan together. Well, the contract and this work really, I think, really helps collaborative planning time. Is that accurate, Rick? I wanted to mention next a letter I received from a parent who I'm not going to read their name because I don't have permission, but they were complimenting Kathy Contento and our Committee on Preschool Education from an autistic, a parent of an autistic child who wanted to know how much confidence she has in our district with our autism program, and that since entering, her son, who I'm not going to read the name, is beginning to show more and more confidence and is really appreciative of our autism program. On September 24th, we will have a Sleep in Heavenly Peace press conference. It's going to be at Bond. We'll do it outside by the greenhouse. This is to highlight the beds that we are distributing as part of our Family Support Center. We have 68 more requests. We've also been given the blessing of a number of benefactors who have given us money to support the building of beds for our kids. So we're gonna, and some of them want to be anonymous, but we've got a nice check to give to Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and we'll have more beds delivered. The University of Buffalo Dental School today donated toothbrushes and toothpaste for all of our students. So I want to thank UB's Dental School. Tomorrow, just so you know, we have a safety program called Zero Eyes. Zero Eyes is our artificial intelligence program that will pick up 1/8 of an inch of a weapon if it's displayed outside of a school. Just so you know, and if the public's listening, we're going to do a calibration exercise with our school resource officers outside of all of our schools. So you may, if anyone sees that, it's a drill and simply a drill to test the cameras and test Zero Eyes around all of our schools. The principals have hopefully articulated that to their families. It's only a drill. And Zero Eyes has been a wonderful security measure. Just another plug. Maria and I had a chance to meet with Dr. Phil, not the guy on TV. Maria needs to sponsor me to see that Dr. Phil, but we met with Dr. Phil Savaggio today and Victoria Duncan, our nurse practitioner. I thought this was really interesting. We changed our physical process, and we're now accepting doctors' physicals. We booked 4 days for sports physicals in the fall. It's our heaviest time. We administered. We have 502 athletes playing fall sports. You know that 481 of them went to their own doctor to get their physical, and 21 of them needed a district physical. Only 21 of them. I thought that was a good statistic. And parents really appreciate that. But I also think it's a good statistic because kids are going to their primary care physicians. And 21 out of 502 or whatever it is, that's not many physicals. So I want to thank you for your patience on that. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt all the
That's
time.
okay.
But we're talking about sports. I'd like to get a schedule
Got
for
it.
the fall sports.
Got it.
I have a vested interest in some of these activities going on, so I'd like to see.
I hear you. I own it. I got it. You'll get it tomorrow. I know. I'll get that scheduled to you.
There's a lot tonight.
Pardon me? There's a lot of sports going on tonight. Yeah. Wrapping up here, our speed humps are in. I tested them out yesterday at Niagara Falls High School. I didn't ruin any of the car. The speed, no, I didn't go fast. I know, it's in my contract. It's a district car. I want to thank the best dressed interim operations and maintenance manager in North America for installing, oh, Mr. Macker, that was you. Sometimes I used to pick on Earl Smeal, so I thought, the North America's finest dressed operations and maintenance man, got those speed bumps in a day. Are we done or do we have more coming? We're done. He'll monitor that and done a really good job in his role. Appreciate your work, and that is a snazzy suit. You have any designs on growing a beard? Oh God, I had great hopes for you. I had great hopes. Let me see here. Last two things, and then I'll ask the question. Thank you to everybody for the great start. Those that are here, our teachers, our associates, our administrators, our secretaries. I'm not going to go through all of them. Thank you to the board for your patience. You can't replicate a great start. You'll be digging from a hole all year if you don't start well. And we started well. Now we got to keep it going. We have to keep it going. And now we have to really drill into our academics. Everything is set. The stage is set. We're going to be in great shape. And it's what I sensed, and I know many board members were there. You may have commented. The energy from the teachers on the first couple of days was just amazing, amazing. And the energy from the schools has been amazing. So that's all I have. I do need an executive session. I do have a question, and it's how do you want to handle the NSBA resolutions? Here's what I can tell you. If you want to do them, you can. We need to appoint a delegate. I'll have to walk out a resolution. It's October 16th from 4 till 3 in the morning. If you do, am I lying? If you don't want to, I'll pass, and there's no harm, no foul. Your call.
You want that now or you want that?
Well, if you want us to do it, I'd like Becky to get ready for the next meeting. If you don't want it, either the next meeting or October 9th, but it's up to you. Okay. Good. Well, first of all, the new calendar looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Harjat and Mrs. Dunn like the sidebar. I like Harjat's picture. Her friends told her I like that, so it's beautiful. Do you have a pleasure on the NSBA resolutions?
Earl, what do you have to say? Okay.
All right, so officially,
I did it last year. It's terrible.
we'll make the decision. We'll make the decision right here in the meeting. You want to go around?
Make it right now.
All right. So we have Nick would like to. No.
Yes.
God bless you, Mike.
I say no.
Earl's a no. Mike, no.
No, say it.
All right. That's a no, Mark.
You just made Becky really happy. Becky, congratulations. Becky works all night on that.
It's always next. I don't want to hear about massive people in New York.
It is, Earl. It is.
Joe G's like, where were you all my life?
Yeah, you're right. Members of the board, unless there's anything else, we need an executive session. The executive session will not have any action taken upon conclusion, but I'm asking for an executive session for two reasons. It is for current litigation between the Niagara Falls City School District and multiple child victims cases. That is it. Mr. Wolf, I know you watch me. Mr. Wolf's an attorney who watches the board meetings. How are you? Mr. Wolf, that is a permissible reason to have an executive session. I'm reading it right from your document here. Current litigation between the Niagara Falls City School District and attorneys and plaintiffs for child victims cases. I'm even giving you more information than you're entitled to. And the second reason is for a personnel matter which may lead to the appointment, promotion of a person or persons. Those are the two reasons, and there's no action taken afterwards.
Can I have a motion?
Second.
Mr. Velardo? Mr. Bilson. Any questions? Okay. We're going to have executive session.
Thank you, is it good?